Everybody, it's Sharon from Bless the Craft Designs. Welcome back to my channel. I am here today to show you how to make this really cute summer welcome wreath. It's not welcome for summer, it's actually someone moving into a new home and they wanted something that would pop on their door. Very bright, vibrant colors. So I made this for her, and I'm going to show you this because I get a lot of questions about how to attach signs and pics. There are no pics on this one. She didn't want anything like that. She just wanted a welcome sign, but this did not come in this orange color, and it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. This I had to hand paint. So I want you all to continue watching so you can see how to make this really pretty wreath. Please make sure you like and you subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so, and click the notification bell as well so you can continue to get these videos. And also make sure you join me on social media. I am on Facebook at Bless the Craft Designs. We do have our Wreath group page, which is called Wreath Designers Network. Wreath Designers Network. I'll put it up here and also in the description box below. Please come by and just click the join button, and usually about 2 or 3 times a week I will go through and add all the people who have requested to join. And you can also follow me on Pinterest as well at I am Bless the Craft. So I'll put all that down in the description box below, but let's go ahead and get started with this cute little summer welcome wreath. And let me just show you how to put this together. It is absolutely gorgeous, so stay tuned. Okay, everybody, welcome back, and let's get started on this project. I'm going to try to make this a little bit shorter. I've gone ahead and glued down my chenille stems. There are 6 on the outer ring, and if you count from the inside out, the second ring, there's 6 on that one, so a total of 12. This is the large mesh that I'm going to use, but the other ones are just this one. The larger one, I think I got this from Craft Outlet online, and these are just the regular Hobby Lobby rolls. And I have different colors. The customer wants very bright colors. She wants something really bright. I have this welcome sign. They're moving into a new house, so I have this really big welcome sign. It looks bigger right now, but of course, just like you saw, once you put everything on here, that's going to take up some of that room. And I decided to paint this orange because I think it will give it just a little bit more pop. And I have some glitter that I'm probably going to use. I see a little scratch on my welcome sign. I don't like that right there. I didn't see that before I bought it, but we'll make do with that. So you will need your paint brushes, all of the ribbon over there. Again, when I get ready to do a project, I just take out everything that I might use, you know, anything that has the potential of being in or on the wreath. And then I decide as I'm going along what I want to add and what I don't want to add. So I probably won't film the entire part of this because you have seen some of this before. I am going to do a combination of the Pouf. I do kind of like this. I started doing this, you know, several months ago, and I kind of like the way this looks when you put down your poofs first and then do your loops or your curls or anything else for that matter if you put those on top of here. So I'm gonna let this drop down. Hopefully it won't shake my camera too much. Ooh, sorry. Let me get it. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, a little technical difficulty. All right. And this is a little bit stiffer. This does not have, this mesh does not have that little piece of, I'm not sure what you call it, but that little strip right there, those little strips in there, this one does not. Okay. And I don't mind that. It's still pretty. It's still very vibrant, which is why I wanted this yellow to be the base. And I do have yellow in the 10-inch that I will use throughout the wreath as well. So again, you make these about, I don't know, anywhere about 8 to 10 inches. I don't worry too much right now about trying to make them, you know, poof it out too much. There'll be time for us to do that later on. But I'm alternating from the outer to the inner. Okay, you just gather it together and then put it down. I just kind of eyeball my poofs to see if they're going to be about the same size. And sometimes I really don't want them exactly the same, but that is a personal preference. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down all over, and then I'm gonna be right back to show you the rest of it. Okay, everybody, I've done the first part, which I put all the yellow down, and now I'm cutting my loops, and I do want to show you really quickly an easy way to do your loops. Now, I already know I have 12 Chanel stems down there, and usually my loops are 3. I put 3 in one Chanel stem. So now if you use more than one, just say 1 or 2 colors, you're gonna probably have to double, either triple how many of these you cut out. But since I started off with 5 colors. I had the fuchsia, the orange, the green, the yellow, and the purple. The purple was one I already had, and I just wanted to use it up. So I was able to get 6 cuts from out of that. And my cuts are between 8 to 10 inches. I try not to go over 10 because I think to me, it's just kind of a waste of mesh to make them over 10. You really just want it to where it's starting to curl in on itself, because you're going to roll it up a little bit tighter. So I have 6 that have the purple in it, so I'm going to cut 6 more. And I'm not cutting, I'm not going to double anything because I'm using 5 different colors. Just cutting 12 of them out all together, that's all I'm going to need. But I wanted to show you this way that when I'm cutting mesh, if you've got, you know, several different colors, or even, you know, if it's just 2 colors, how you can cut all of them at one time. I do have a mat that I can use, but to me it's easier, and I don't mind doing it this way. And if you need something, you can get a ruler. Y'all know I don't use a ruler. This is that's 10. So around in there is where I'm cutting it at. And I'm going to show you when I cut this. As you can see, it automatically starts to kind of curl in on itself, okay? And I'm going to leave these together for now, and then later on I will, you know, I'll start separating them and rolling them together. But I just wanted to show you a really neat way to go ahead and cut all of your deco mesh at one time. It makes it a whole lot faster. That way you can get back to making your project. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these out. I only needed to do 6 more. Okay, everybody, I'm back. And as you can see, I've gone ahead and I started putting down some of the ribbon. I cut out 6 of each one, and I've already gone ahead and chevron or dovetailed my ends. I probably have cut out too much, but whatever I don't use inside the wreath, then I'll just probably use it for the bow at the end. So what I've done is, you know, I told you some of them didn't have the purple, so I'm trying to do maybe every other one that has a purple in there. And add just a bit of, you know, some raffia in there, or either maybe you can put the tubing in there if you would like. But you just roll these up. If you haven't ever watched me do the loop method or the roll method, you just take them, you roll them up. And now you can use a Chanel stem if it's hard for you to kind of hold this all together. But if not, I just put them right there. And you just roll them up. They don't have to be super tight. But that is what you have. And you can just put that down there if you like. I think that's really pretty even by itself. But I just wanted to couple it with some ribbon. Now, excuse me, I'm trying to do every other, but you can have the same ribbon going all the way around. I just kind of like to alternate mine a little bit. So this one right here has this down. So I'll probably grab one of these. And I do have two of those in the same spot. I didn't realize I did that. Now where there's not a purple deco mesh, I am going to use a purple ribbon. And I think I'm going to take this pink and green. And this is, I've never used this before, but I'm actually quite pleased with it. It's almost like, it's kind of almost like cloth. It's very soft, but I thought, you know what, I'll use this also. So what I did with the other one over there, I just kind of made like a little loop right there. I took a piece of this, my Chanel stem, because this is quite thick. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it is quite thick. And I just cut this off, and then I'm gonna lay this down in between there. I'll kind of pull it out a little bit because I do want just a little bit of tail on each side, but that is gonna go up top. And I already have two over there with yellow, so maybe I won't do a yellow there. How about, let's break that up. Let's put that purple on top. And maybe even, let's grab this green polka dot right here. And I'm just kind of crisscrossing everything, and then I'll gather it in the middle like that, and then place it down. And this right here, I'll kind of move that once I get it on my wreath. So once again, you're gonna go to open up your Chanel stem that you have your deco mesh, and then you place this down right in the middle, and then you twist this back. And I pull it just a little tight. So then we'll take this part, and I'm gonna try to get this around to the other side. It may not work. We'll see how that does. And then you just kind of have to fluff it out a little bit. Now I know some of my ribbon is a little long. That's okay. That is not uncommon for me to have long ribbon, but I don't want to cut any of this off until after I get it up on the wall, on the door, just to kind of see how it looks, and then that will tell me what I need to cut and how much I need to cut off. So then you just kind of spread this around. So it looks like you have a little bow right there, and I did one on the other side. So I'll show you one more time. This time I'm gonna grab one that has some purple in it, because this one should have a purple deco mesh and this one should not. So I'm trying to do, like I said, do every other. So I'll show you one more time. This one has a purple in it. So this one has 5. So you just roll this up. It doesn't take long. The longest time with this is going to be your prep time, sitting down, cutting all of these little 8 to 10 inch pieces out. But this is such a colorful wreath. I love it already. It's definitely a summertime type wreath. And she wanted something on her door that would pop with the color. And I do believe she's going to get that. So then I'm going to use this one. And let's see. Let's use this. That's the shorter of all of them. So let's take this, And this is long enough actually if I want to make that same little, if I want to do that loop. I think y'all remember this from the last time. And let's see, do I want to put, I have a polka dot on there. I'm using this one. I don't want a purple because I have purple here already. So I think I'm just going to go with these two. So again, I just crisscross them, and I know one is very long, but that's okay. We'll fix that in the end. Put that together like that. And grab this with your hand, undo this one. And these are all on the middle bar, by the way. I have not done the outside yet. I will do that next. So you put this down and then you pull up and kind of pull it taut a little bit, like kind of really pull it and then twist it, because you want this to kind of sit down. You don't want it to stick up a whole lot. All right, so this is a little bit easier to move. And this one, this ribbon will stretch out. So you can leave it together like that, or you can kind of stretch it out. And I like how it looks stretched out. Okay, and I will definitely have to cut this ribbon down a little bit. Okay, we can fix that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of the wreath. Okay, everybody, I'm back and I have put down all of my ribbon so far. I still have to put the bow on there, but I just wanted you to see that I'm getting ready to do the sign. So I just wanted you to kind of see how I'm gonna do the sign here. This is just an old box, just a kind of a shoebox top. And you know, if you don't have any craft paper, first of all, the dollar store, they do sell craft paper. They have a really nice roll of it that I think you can't beat for $1. But we also have, I gotta turn this fan off over here. Okay, I'm gonna turn that fan off because I don't want the spray everywhere. But I wanna hold this up and I'm gonna put this down because I'm gonna use that as like a test. This just pulled straight out. I didn't have to use anything, it just pulled straight out. So I have this, I do wanna prime it. The only thing I have here at the house is this flat white Krylon, but it's the paint and the primer. So I don't have any just straight primer here. So I just want a thin coat, and I do want to make sure, you know, you get in between those letters. I would go outside and do this, but it is kind of raining and it's a little cool outside, so I think I'll be okay if I do it here. I just want a really light coat to help my acrylic paint kind of stick a little bit more and to cover up some of this wood. I'm not the best when it comes to painting either. That's not what I do. So once I put this on and I let it dry, then I'll go back with my paint, and I do hope this is enough. I'm gonna make it really light, but I think if I couple that with the glitter, then we should definitely have enough. But I wanna make sure I get in between all these letters. Just a little light coat. So I'll let this dry for a couple of hours. And then after it's dried a couple of hours, then I will come back and paint it with the orange. And you could do the back side. I might actually paint the back side white, do it with the primer. I don't know if I will actually do it with the orange or not, especially since I don't have very much. I might just go buy more. However, we'll just kind of see. I'll try to make sure I'm in focus. And I'm gonna paint this little piece of wood right here because I want to see what the glitter is gonna look like. Okay. And so okay, everybody, I just want to show you the very first coat of orange that I put on. And what I decided to do was, some parts are still wet, is I actually mixed these two together. So pure pumpkin and the metallic orange, I mixed them together. Some parts are still wet. Most of it's dry. So I'm gonna give it maybe about 15 more minutes, and I'm gonna go over it with another coat. And this time when it's wet, this is my little swatch that I did to try to get it to sparkle just a little bit. This right here, I don't know how well you can see that, but that right there, the sparkle in it, is this kind of iridescent color. Does it have, oh, it says Disco. This one over here I thought might work because it does dry clear, but it's too much silver, and that's this one. It's almost dried out anyway, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to use just this tube of orange because it is that metallic. And then while it's wet, I'm going to sprinkle it with this. Then we'll let it dry and I'll spray it to seal it, okay? So I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. And I hope you're at this point now where we can finish up the wreath because I know you all are doing this with me. So I want to make the bow. I finished my sign, but I'm still waiting on it to dry. I have the, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I have a fan going over here just to let that dry a little bit more. Excuse me, I have picked it up, so I do know that it is dry, but just to make sure. But I want to go ahead and do my bow, and I'm just going to kind of do that really big kind of crazy bow that you've watched me do a couple of times now. I want a fairly big loop. I don't have enough pieces for each one. Like this is the only one I have of this one, and I only have one of that one. But we're gonna make it do, you know, just to have a really nice bow. And I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm gonna make sure I get it started. I don't have to put it in between there yet. And all we're gonna do is alternate. This turned out to be a really pretty addition to this wreath. Just kind of make sure your loops are the same size. And we'll use, let's do this one because I actually only have one of this one also. This is a really pretty wreath. I can't wait to show it to my customer. I haven't done my tails yet, but I'll do those in just a minute. And let's get some of this purple in. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Again, let's make sure we're checking to make sure everything is the same. And I'll go ahead and put this one in again. I don't have, this is the only one I have left, but I want to use this. All right, so I also have my little curly cues here. I'm gonna start adding those in. So I'm gonna get one of those in the front with the raffia. And I just used a pin like this and just wrapped it around the pin, and then I pulled it off, okay? And I'm also gonna use some of this tubing. I just wanna make it really big and add just some other elements to it. Here, let's do that. I'll cut that part off. Okay, so we're just adding some extra stuff into our bow. I'm gonna leave that as is. And now we just kind of start the process over again. And this is a really neat way to make a really large bow. It's really simple. It's easy on your hands. Hold on just one second, you guys. I'm sorry, someone's at my door. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I apologize. We have some work done to our garbage disposal here at the house. It went kaput. So that was the serviceman. So I did go ahead and I finished the bow, and then while he was here, I had time to kind of fluff everything out. Excuse me. And kind of see how, and it'll still have to be fluffed out some more. But this is the back part, and this is the chenille stem that was on there. And I like to make these a little bit longer. And I just wanted to show you how I extend this out. I just take another chenille stem. Now you can do this a half of one, but I rather leave it long just so I have enough room to work this all the way to the back of my wreath, okay? So you just twist that like that, just give it some really good twists. And now you use this to go to the back of your wreath. But what I wanted to show you is the sign, and I think I'm going to put it about here. Now it is going to be pressed down just a little bit, okay? So I don't want it directly on there. I want it about right in there, kind of in the middle. There's one chenille stem here from the Deco mesh, and then there's one here. So I kind of want to go in between there, and then my bow will be kind of in the middle up there. And again, this is going to kind of be squished down just a little bit, okay? That's from the bow. So get an idea of where you want it to go, and that's how you know where to put your ties to go on the back. So I think about right here behind this E, somewhere around behind this E, and then probably here where that W is, where the W starts to go into the E. So probably in there. I just want to make sure, because I may want to come over to that M. I don't know if I want to go all the way over there to that E or not. So I might put it behind the M, just so it's kind of one letter in a little bit. So I did go and get some chenille stems that are the same color. And just put a little bit of hot glue down. Take your chenille stem, and then you're gonna lay it down flat. I'm not gonna dare put my hand there because I know that's hot. Hold that down in place, and then I always put some glue directly over as well to kind of help hold it down some more also. And you really do have to kind of press it down because it will start to move. just hold that down. And some of it is starting to try to come around to the side. But you got to kind of press it in there so it does adhere to your sign. Okay, so press it down a little bit. I just don't want to press this down with my hand. I can always clean this off, but that glue is really hot. And then I'm not going to mess with it anymore for right now. I'm just going to let that sit. But once it sits, then I'll come back and I will still put more hot glue on top of that as well. And I think I was going to put my other one right here where this M is. Now, if this isn't long enough, if that's still not long enough for you to actually attach it to go through the frame, you know, through your Deco mesh and to get through the frame, the exact same thing that I did for the bow, you can do that for this part. Just attach, you could probably just half one and put half there to extend that, and then half there to extend that one. So that's always an option too. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna glue this one down to this M. Okay, flatten it out and then press it down. While you're still pressing it down, go ahead and start putting some glue on top. All right, and I'm gonna lift this up so you can see. And it's adhering pretty good. We'll get rid of some of those glue strings in just a minute. It's moving because it's sticking to my scissors. There we go. Okay, so really let this sit. Don't try to go ahead and put it on your wreath right now. Give it about a good 10 or 15 minutes. And again, after it does set, when it starts to turn, I would still go ahead and put another little bit of hot glue on there. But we're just gonna let that sit to the side and go ahead and work our bow to the back. Okay, so just kind of get down to the frame part of the wreath. Okay, I'll pull that side down, and then I'm gonna work this through here. I'm gonna see how that looks because I have actually worked it through the mesh. You can take this and go through the mesh if you like. If you think it's gonna press down too much, and then just work your hand to the back to try to thread that through. Okay, so once you get back here, you need to get it around the frame because we want to attach this to the frame. Okay, you guys, let's see if I can finish this. I'm off today, so everyone is calling. All right, so I'm going to work this through here also and get it to the back. And I don't just leave it that way. I do kind of turn it over and see how far up do I want it to stick out. You know, if you want it all the way up, but if you kind of want it flush a little bit, I do want it to stick out some, then you just kind of pull it towards you in the back. And I don't cut this off just yet, because again, once you put this up on the door and really look at it, that will kind of determine what else you need to do. So don't cut everything until you're absolutely sure how you want it to look. And we have all of our little curly cues here. I pulled those out. We have this neat little netting. We have two different types and colors of netting. We have our tubing, our Deco mesh tubing here. And I've gone ahead and I've chevroned all of my ribbon, my tails. And so now it's just going to be a matter of kind of fluffing it out a little bit. So that's going to take some time to do that. So, you know, I'll do that later on, again, once I put it up on the door. But I think that's really cute, and all these little things, like, it just adds a little bit more character to the bow to me when you have all of that sticking out like that, okay? And I'll cut these some more also. So let's see how our sign is doing. So I'm going to put a little bit more hot glue on here. Make sure it's really adhering to the board, the sign. Okay. I don't think that's going to go anywhere now. So now what you do is you just pull up your chenille stems like this. And I probably can get to the back of the frame with them this long, but I just want to make sure. So let's go ahead and make these a little bit longer. You probably don't even have to do both of these. You probably could do just one on each side to make sure you have enough to go towards the back. You know, in some of your signs, when you do them like this, your customer might decide to take them off and use them somewhere else. So that's why, you know, you kind of, you know, you want to spend a little bit of time on your signs and everything. When you're making wreaths, sometimes you can't find a sign at the store. You might not be able to buy one that's already, you know, what you're looking for. You might have to make one that you think will work a lot better than one that you can, you know, that's already made. So just like before, once you do that, you're just gonna have to work this chenille stem all the way to the back of your frame. So if you need to go through your Deco mesh, you can do that. Just kind of poke it through. You're not hurting anything by having to do that. Just try to get it all the way through to the back. It's almost like threading a needle. Okay. So we have one side back here. Now I need to work on the other side because I'm not going to attach it yet until I have both sides all the way to the back. And this sign, I'm not too concerned about it being straight across. If it's at an angle, that's okay, because I was kind of trying to decide whether or not I wanted it at an angle anyway. All right, so all right, so we now have both of them to the back. All right, and I am going to pull them taunt just a little bit. So let's turn this over. And we'll pull that side. And I'm gonna pull this side and twist that. And then let's turn that over. And that looks pretty good, just like that. And then you'll just fluff out all of your ribbon. Okay, everybody, here is the final wreath. Well, almost final. It's about 97% done. There's still some more tweaking that I will do. Here, I'll probably cut these down just a little bit more because I do want it to come into the sign, but I don't want it to, right now, a lot of it is kind of blocking the sign too much. So I'll probably cut these down and maybe move them to the back. Same thing for over here. But as you can see, it turned out really pretty. I mean, it's bright, which is what the customer wanted. She wanted really bright colors. And I think the orange sign, it really works. If instead of me painting it, maybe the yellow, I think the yellow would have blended in too much. So I think that orange just kind of pops out a lot. And it's a really pretty wreath. I love the bow. I love the way it turned out with all the little curly cues and the tubing nestled in there. So it really is cute. Like I said, when you make a wreath, make sure that you put it up, you know, on a door or somewhere and look at it, because that gives you a different perspective as opposed to it laying down flat on the table. So I thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Also make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way that you can get videos when they come out. And I'm trying to put them out at least every 1 to 2 weeks because I do have quite a bit of orders that I'm trying to get done. So I thank God for that. Please join me on Facebook at Blessed Crafts. You'll see the sign down below, and it's also in the description box, as well as our Wreath Designers Network, which is our group page, and I'm also on Pinterest as well. Well, all of that will be linked down below. I thank you so much for joining me today. Those of you who are new to my page, my channel, I thank you for joining me, and note my subscribers who have been on this journey with me for well over a year now. I do thank you for joining me as well. And as always, be blessed.